Hello, friends and lovers.
Here we go. What's up, Brendan? What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? We are here doing another. Don't look at that.
What? Look at what?
Nothing. Anyway, we're here doing another exciting installment of the Terrorisk Podcast. We're gonna get a little drunk, gonna get a little high, gonna get a little silly, talk some shit. I mean, what else is new? It's pretty much all we do on this fucking show.
I'm off work right now. It kind of sucks. I work at a school, so there's like semesters.
Yeah. Okay, so you're a chef. You're still a chef.
I'm a cook.
You're still a cook at this college, right?
The chef makes the calls. The cooks do what the chef says.
So the chef is like the captain.
Okay, yeah, chef's like the captain.
Okay. And as far as like
They're usually really impatient douches.
So like how do you like differentiate between like kitchens that actually require the chef or kitchens that just need like fucking cooks and shit?
I don't know. I've worked in kitchens with chefs that sucked, and I've worked in kitchens that was just cooks and a manager and was better. So I don't know. I'm starting to think you don't need a fucking chef sometimes. If you have a bunch of good cooks that know what to do without being told, it works out. The chef is like, it's like a military. It's like you have soldiers that know how to shoot, but you have to tell them where to shoot. You know, kind of deal. Like this is what's happening. We're making fucking okra and this today. We're making this today. So I need you to chop up 15 onions. I need you to peel like 70 potatoes. I need you to do this. Okay, get to it. Hurry the fuck up.
All right. As far as the dude in the kitchen who does the most work, who do you think that is? Is it the chef? Is it the
It depends on the chef. So they're chefs who really like to be in the kitchen and doing cutting and dicing and stuff like that. And the chef we have does go out there and do it himself.
Yeah.
But you also have chefs who just say what to do, make the menu, and sit in the office. So it depends on how much they like actually being there and going, you know. And it helps because, like, you know, as a prep cook or some cook, you're just learning kind of, and you have the chef come in, he's like, you know, like super fast. And you're like, okay, I can get that fast. I just have to keep trying, you know. So it's good for them to show you they can do your job in half the time.
So when
if I need to fine dice 15 onions, 10 carrots, and 2 stalks of celery,
right,
this guy can definitely do it in half the time. So I can respect him.
So when would you say you started this like line of work? Like when was the first gig you had actually being like a chef?
A cook? Or
a cook.
In a restaurant? I was working at Moe's Southwest Grill when I was 17. And
Wait, so your first experience cooking professionally was fucking was Moe's?
Yeah, I did a lot of fast food too. I did White Castle, I did fucking McDonald's. I did all that. I dropped out of high school when I was 15, so I just got shitty jobs my whole life. This is like one of the first jobs that isn't a complete shit job, actually.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. So I work at Moe's Southwest Grill and I would do dishes, but I was like the Mexican dude that I worked with. Every once in a while, I'd have to help him with prep.
Yeah.
Like,
how old were you, by the way?
17.
Okay, so you were 17 when you started this first job at Moe's, right? So
I didn't want to be a cook.
No, I'm just saying at that age, your options are very limited because you have no work experience. You're a teenager, right?
You just work in food. It's easy. It's
but
an
you
easy
do,
job to get.
But you do have like certain paths you can go. Like as a kid, right? You could do shitty food, which is like Moe's or McDonald's, right? Or you could do retail, or you could do something else. You know, like what made you lean towards like food?
I'm not good at customer service. I don't like to talk to people in bullshit customer service way.
But
I am the back of the house type. I have tattoos. I'm loud. I say fuck a lot. And if you want to say fucking god fucking damn it, you need to be in the back of the house. You need to be a cook. You need to be able to walk into the walk-in and scream and punch shit. I haven't never been in a kitchen to where some people weren't kind of aggressive and out of line. Like the cooks are very aggressive, kind of fucking slamming shit people, you know.
Okay.
So you can't be out front like, hi, how may I help? Oh, I'm so sorry, your shake wasn't good. You're a cook. You're like, yeah, shut the fuck up. You make the fucking food. You get shit done, but you're kind of abrasive.
Okay. So how old are you now?
34.
All right, so you're 34 years old now, and you've been professionally cooking since you were like 17.
I'm not professionally cooking.
I mean, you as a
Most
living,
places are shitty.
as a living, you made money by cooking since you were like 17 years old.
Dishwasher, cooking prep, yeah.
Okay, and as far as like exactly like what got you into it. It was just because you wanted a more back of the house role, right?
It's just what I got.
And
I didn't choose it.
And it all started with Moe's, right?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
It wasn't until I moved to Texas after Hurricane Sandy, and the only jobs I can get were cooking jobs. So I'm like, okay, I have a couple years experience in prep and doing dishes. Let me try to get in. And I got in. Like the first place I put a knife in my hand was Viet Bites, the Vietnamese place.
Yeah, I remember.
And so like that went on for 7 years on and off. And I worked at other restaurants around town. I started to try to get better, get into fine dining, get into like more high class restaurants. It took a while for me to actually give a fuck about that kind of job.
Yeah.
Like right now I bought my own chef knives. I'm like really trying to get better.
Would you say it's easier to work in a restaurant serving like higher tier foods or like shit tier like poor people food? Like, because I know they both must be very hard in their own ways.
Yeah, it's
you know?
both the same pretty much, except like if there's a tiny blemish on the if you're serving a steak that's like $120,
Yeah.
it can't be fucked up at all.
Yeah.
You put a piece of parsley in the wrong place and they send it back, to where like you're working in a bar and grill.
Like, bitch.
You're working in a bar and grill and they're like, we need an order of chicken fingers, and you throw a box of chicken fingers in the grill in the deep fryer.
Like bar food.
Yeah, and then you wait. You hit the timer to 10 minutes. You pull them out. You serve them, and then some drunk guy comes in the middle. Bro, fucking chicken fingers are good cooked. And I'm like, I threw it in a deep fryer for 15 minutes. It was pre-packaged, pre-fucking frozen. It was already cooked. You could have eaten the shit frozen, actually.
All right, let's say as just as a scenario, the world doesn't get much more fucked up in your lifetime. Things are going generally baseline. We're assuming nothing crazy happens to either of us. Would you say like cooking is kind of like what you would stick with to like bring home the bacon, like, to pay your bills? Like, is it a comfortable line for
My
you?
job right now is very comfortable. I like the hours. I like the
I get that. And
I-
clearly you've worked in multiple food places. You've worked in shitty ones, good ones. I'm just saying, like, just overall this industry, it's like what you're kind of leaning towards at this point to like coast on. Yeah.
And sometimes I actually like the nitty gritty of it. Like it gets to a point where like I'm like, nobody's like thrown something or yelled in a minute. What the fuck's going on? Like I'm used to the fucking, we ain't fucking fire everything right the fuck now. I'm like, used to that.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
and it's so chill where I'm at. To where it's like almost like different. I'm like I'm even chef is like, am I being too hard on you? I'm like, no, not enough, man.
Compared to your last
you can
job.
yell a little bit more. Actually, I can take it. Like
Yeah.
I'm used to the fucking like Chef Ramsay shit. Like I've dealt with like the same shit you would watch people on like Hell's Kitchen or fucking Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah.
I've had that same experience where somebody's like fucking in my fucking face, like hurry the fuck up, fire the fucking shit right now, fucking throwing shit. You know,
Yeah.
like I've been through that before. It's where like now it's so tame that I'm just like, what do we do now? What can I do? What can I get ready for tomorrow? And they're like, just nothing, just wait. And I'm like, just wait for what? Like there's no, at where I'm working at, there's no you have time to lean, you have time to clean. There's none of that. They have cleanup people. So if I have time to lean, I just have fucking time to lean. And even like the heads, like the head people there, if I decided to walk into the locker room and just play my switch, they couldn't fire me for it. Like they couldn't I don't do that. But like,
You know what I feel like? My opinion, I feel like you're so chill with this kind of food service job because, these are college kids. Like,
they're fucking assholes.
Listen,
They're
yes,
going to be
listen,
the next
I
generation
know.
to walk into a restaurant and like, when do you close? It's 7:55. We close at 8. Okay, we'll have a seat over there. Like they're those that's the next generation of those fucking cunts.
Okay, I'm just saying, right now, where they're at in life, regardless of where they'll end up, right now they're still college kids.
Yeah.
Yes, their parents or they paid for the menu for the whole semester and shit. But it's not like they're walking into your cafeteria expecting like a fucking full course like gourmet shit. Like they're just expecting it to be.
They complain. They'll also if it's bad they'll take pictures.
Really?
And then we'll get in trouble. Like
Well,
oh
all right.
yeah.
No,
So
you told me about that raw chicken
yeah, the
story.
raw chicken.
I would
That
be
is-
fucking.
yes,
I would be pissed about that.
I
too.
am not a complainer at restaurants. If they give me the wrong fucking dish, I'll be like, I guess I'm having this then, unless it's something I'm allergic to.
Yeah, me too.
But
I'm
like,
like that
I'm
too.
not a dick about it. I don't give. I got food. Fuck it. But
I've seen you
a
put-
raw piece of chicken is deadly. You know, that's something like I'm like I don't even blame that kid.
I've seen you send stuff
That's a
back.
problem.
I've seen you send stuff back, and it was like really funny because you always look like you felt like really bad about doing it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry you fucked up. But like no, like They will also. They're very Their eyes are bigger than their stomachs, so they'll get up and grab a sec. They'll be like, "We need more pasta with shrimp," and I'm looking at the dish pit, and they throw out like they'll grab a second plate, fill it up, out of like anxiety, and then not eat it.
Yeah.
And then just they have to. There's no garbage for them, so they have to. We weigh it. We weigh how many pounds of food every day, and it's so much. It's ridiculous. Like they eat about half the food I make. We make. We have to make that much food because they throw out a lot.
Yeah.
And they grab a plate, and we can't take it off the plate, so they throw out most of the food because they grab extra, and they don't actually need to eat it, so they just throw the rest out. I've seen like whole sandwiches with like one bite taken out of it, because they got up and they were still hungry. They didn't realize it takes 30 fucking minutes to digest. They're kids, and they're dumb about it. And then like the dumbest, we'll like take hours making like a beautiful meal, like a chicken parmesan with a certain pasta with a sauce that took hours to make. And then at the end of the night, it's like, can we have more chicken nuggets? And these are frozen, fucking processed, shitty nuggets we grab out of the freezer, throw into a deep fryer for 2 minutes. And it's like, why are we even feeding them good food? They obviously don't give a fuck.
Wait, so they actually order stuff? I thought it was like a buffet line kind of stuff.
No, I work, every place is different. So I work downstairs where we prep and we cook, and there's certain, it's like catering.
Oh.
So we have in the warmer, say it's a chicken parm night. So we have a couple chicken parms up front, and we have like 8 more in the back. And if it's going low, they're like, hey, we're taking the last chicken parm. Okay, fire up another chicken parm, and we fire up another one. But then we see plates come back with like a whole plate of chicken parmesan with like one bite taken out, and they're just thrown away. It's like if they did the right thing, we wouldn't need to make that many. But that's the only annoying thing about it. And that's a common thing. Like a lot of them also wait to the last minute to eat. So if we close at 8, it's 7:55, and all of a sudden 50 kids come down. And I'm like, I already fucking have the deep fryer turned off. I already have the back cleaned up because we try to pre-close and get out of there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden 50 kids come down. I have to turn shit on and like hurry up and like make another thing of pasta or whatever.
Who's your least favorite coworker?
I don't know yet. I don't have a least favorite. I like most of them.
Who's your favorite coworker?
My friend Tim.
All right, what is he about? Like, what does he do? What is he into?
He's pretty much alcoholic, I think. Yeah, like he's like the type like once 5 o'clock comes, the managers are gone. He starts like he knows where the cameras are. He'll have like a bottle of like whiskey and putting it into soda and shit like that. But he's also really cool. Like if I get on the bus with him, he'll like pull out a joint and smoke a joint with me.
So he's
like, just an old black dude, that's cook at the college. He lives in like Brooklyn or something like that. He's fucking awesome.
Where does he work at the job? Like, what's his position?
He's a cook like me.
Oh, okay. So you guys do the same thing pretty much.
Yeah, like the other day he was working. There's a sandwich station.
Yeah.
And I work in like prep, doing in the kitchen, and he needed help in the sandwich station, so I was helping him. And then I asked the manager, hey. He gets out a little bit later, but he's by himself today, closing. Can I help him, extend my hours? Because if you try to clock out even a minute before a minute after your time, it'll be like get a manager.
All right.
They don't want you to get overtime.
So objectively speaking, like just purely in terms of job performance, how do you guys like affect each other? Like, would you guys say you make each other better at your jobs or like make each other worse?
Better. I think you should always have a couple people that you're friends with.
You got a light, by the way?
Yeah. You should always have coworkers you're friends with.
Yeah? I
remember the first day I came in, and there was this little Asian girl named Tammy. She was like that. She always wears the mask. It's just, I guess, like an Asian thing. I don't know. They wear masks.
Yeah.
If they're from there originally, and they came here, like as kids even, they still wear it. She speaks perfect English, but I can tell like.
Wait, so who's Tammy?
Tammy is like almost. They don't call anyone a sous chef, but there are a couple people who've been there for a couple of years, know what they're doing.
So she's the sous chef.
So when chef says, "Okay, I'm leaving. It's 5 o'clock,"
Tammy's the
you know
sous
what you're
chef
doing,
is in
right?
charge.
Okay, just make sure tell Brendan if you need help. Blah blah blah. But she's not my boss.
But she's basically the sous
she is
chef.
my boss also. So technically, I could say no to her, and it's not an issue. But I do. I treat her like my boss because she's better than me. as a cook.
Yeah. And does she work in like?
She has like a $500 knife kit.
Does she work in the same
She brings
room
all
as
of
you?
her own equipment. She's obviously a good cook.
Does she work in the same room as you? Like you guys?
Yeah, we work together the whole time. We're like a foot apart, pretty much.
And you guys like have the whole shift together? Like
Yeah, but she's like very like serious and like quiet, and I'm like, me,
Yeah.
you know. And she's even like, you talk too much. And I'm like, I don't. And she's like, I don't think I talk too much. She's like, yeah, people who don't think they talk too much talk too much.
That's amazing
Like,
that she sounds like really cool, like upfront. Like she's like, yo, you talk too
I
much.
know, and she's fucking cute as fuck, but we're not compatible.
You know what's
'Cause
cool?
At the end of the night, we're not allowed to play music, but when no one's there, she does.
She sounds
And
like
it's like
me.
the worst, like shitty in pop music ever. It's just like boy bands and shit. And she's
Yeah.
into K-pop, and I'm like, yeah, okay, no.
No, it's funny. She sounds like me because like I would also tell you that you talk too much. Like I would be like, yeah. You
Well,
talk too
then
much.
go and date Tammy.
I don't know.
She's a good girl with a good head on her head.
Nah, she
And
probably.
she will cook you the best food ever. Anytime we have vegetable dishes,
Oh no. See, I couldn't.
she seasons it fucking perfectly.
I couldn't date a cook because like I would try to do something nice for them, like cook for them, and then like they'll be like, "This is disgusting." Like, what the fuck did you do? I was like, "I tried my best." You know?
She's like almost a chef though. Fuck it. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
I respect the fuck out of her. I thought she was cute as fuck the first day I saw her, but after hanging out with her and being like, I'm like, so what kind of music you're into? I'm trying to get like see if like what I do if I find somebody physically attractive, I try to see what they're into.
Yo, I got an idea. What if like I'll do this for you? Like, what if you just one day like just told your coworkers, "Hey, I'm throwing a party," and you could just invite them to my place.
She's not a partier.
I mean, not her. Just your
She doesn't drink.
I'm not
smoke
talking.
weed.
Look, I'm not just talking about her. I'm talking
She's
about.
weird.
I'm talking about all your coworkers, like that you like. You know, if you want to get closer to them.
It's gonna be a crazy party that
Why?
because we're fucking that they're crazy, man. Whether we're cooks.
Sound fun. I want to hang out with some fucking cooks.
I have
like-
one friend, Ebony. She's there, and she works behind the sandwich station. Sometimes she loves me, but she's a musician. She plays the flute, guitar. She records music. She sings and everything. I've been trying to get her to come to karaoke just as a friend.
Oh, that's lovely.
And Tim, I have his number. He's like one of the only person I have his number. It's just like when I'm at home with the cats. There's 16 of them, but I'm friends with like 4 of them.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
to
there's
reiterate,
3
he has 16 cats living in his
there's
home.
3 that I'm like, yo, my fucking buddy rebel, you know, hey Prissy, how you doing? Hey Darla, and the rest of them like, meow. I'm like, I don't even know your fucking name, dude. Like you're just some random black cat sitting there. It's kind of like how it is at the workstation. Like there's like these 2 Mexican dudes, and the only one I'm really friends with in our part of the kitchen is Jose, and the other dude's so serious. He's
Yo, hit
very
that.
like, what?
Hit that.
Oh, sorry.
You want a pillow? Because you're sleeping on it.
Oh shit, guys, and ladies, and non-binaries.
Wait, so what were we just talking about? What were you just saying?
What was I saying?
We were talking about the kitchen, and then we were talking about your cats. And you don't know the names of some of the fucking cats that live in your own house.
Yeah, there's like 2 Mexican dudes I work with, and the only Jose is my friend. And like he's my friend because he like he comes up like there was one time I was peeling fucking potatoes, and he saw I was peeling too much off, and he's like, okay, hide this, and threw something over the garbage can. Like, don't let him see you waste this much. Here, listen, I was working here, I didn't know anything. Like he has an accent. I can't do the Mexican accent. I'm not gonna appropriate the fucking accent right now as a white person. Okay.
Thank you for being so
I'm
culturally.
so fucking PC, guys.
Thank you. We thank you for your service.
Hey, Meng, you cut like this. On delay. Arriba. No. It's
Mira,
like,
mira.
He'd
be like, mira,
so
man.
he showed
You
me
don't cut
so
like
many
this.
fucking things with the knife. I'm like, dude, if somebody showed me this 10 years ago, I would have been a fucking god at this by now. I'm like, just holy shit. And like, nobody showed me so much in such a short amount of time as fucking Jose
Don't
has.
fuck with Jose, man. Jose knows his shit.
He didn't know his shit before he got there, though. Even the chef, he likes me. He knows, like, I kind of suck, but he can tell, like, thing about training a cook, I think, is it's not about their skill. It's about how much they give a fuck. So even if they suck, if they give a fuck, that means you're going to be able to make them good.
Okay, so what's funny is like you see the way you explain that to me is the same way Sword is, right? Because I've been doing this shit by now like about like 5, 6, maybe almost close to 7 years now. So I've been doing it for like that many years by now. You remember when I first started. So like when a new person comes in, I have to show them the basics, like how to sheath the sword and whatever. And I'll show them like one simple thing and they'll be amazed. They'll be like, oh my God, blah, blah. And then they'll come up to me like, wow, dude, thank you. And I'll be like, listen, the fact of the matter is I was you. Like a few years ago, I was exactly where you were. And it was people that were here longer than me that showed me the way. And now I'm showing you. And if you decide to stick with this and you come back and you stay, it's going to be on you. You're going to be the one teaching. So like, that's what I explain. It's like, it's not me. It's not the person before me. It's the whole, like, you know, the fucking timeline.
Yeah, that's not like Tammy, like technically when Chef leaves, she's the one in charge, but I can go missing and then she'd have to make the pasta. But the other day she just like left me. I didn't mind it at all. She left me alone in the kitchen, went out and just hung out with the other workers.
Yeah.
So every time we needed a new thing of shrimp, new thing of pasta, I had to go and make it. But I think she realizes I'm hyper and bored.
So like, as long as she keeps you busy, like,
yeah, if I
you'll
keep
be
you
fine.
busy, I won't fucking say a bunch of weird shit. You know, so keep Brendan busy, and he won't come up and be like, do you know dolphins rape people? Like, I won't come up and say something weird because I'm so fucking busy.
Yeah.
You know, that like the only times I say something weird at a job is because I don't give a fuck about the job.
Yeah.
Or I don't have anything to fucking do. So my mind needs to be occupied. I have like a dopamine like regulation. I have Tourette's means you have less dopamine. You're not getting that I feel okay right now feeling. You feel like kind of like something's missing all the time. So you need to cover that. You need to do something to release dopamine. Like just right now, I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
Talking is a selfish dopamine thing.
Mm-hmm.
As if you talk at somebody, you're getting a dopamine release.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, you know, I'm friendly. I love people. But also, I'm getting a slight dopamine release from every interaction I have, whether it's a homeless person or somebody. It's kind of in its own way semi-selfish in some way.
All right. Well, I got some.
This is out.
It's okay. I got some cool tricks to teach you, but we'll do it off the mic because this is kind of like socio magic, and I don't want to like share this on the mic. But I'll tell you after.
He's gonna tell me some shit from the 42 Laws of Power or something. 40.
Wow, what if, I haven't thought about that book in like fucking years. Like, that's a good book, all right. It's a good fucking book.
I heard
man.
that guy took back what he said and wrote a second book, kind of dismantling his first book.
Well,
said like, okay, that's
right.
a selfish,
So,
manipulating, bullshit way of doing things.
Look.
There's a nice way of
Listen,
doing this.
No, here's the deal. First of all, he wrote that book because as a human being, he was constantly dealing with scumbags, and he was dealing with these scumbags, and he was wondering, he's like, why?
Maybe
the fuck?
he was one.
No. Listen, he was dealing with scumbags because he was a writer by trade, and as a writer, you have to deal with like unsavory contractors and shit like that, or commissions. So he would come across a bunch of scumbags in his profession. He would wonder, he's like, why are these people winning? Why are these people making it out? So he made it his life's work to like study the nature of power, social power, just power in general. Why are some people, especially awful people, end up having so much influence over like others in their surroundings? So he studied it and then he made a book about it. And it's funny you say that. Like, yes, he wrote that whole book, the 48 Laws, right? And then, but what you gotta, if you actually read the book and you go to the last law, the 48th law, it's assume formlessness. That's the law. Basically saying it's like, yes, you could turn yourself into this cold, hard, calculating motherfucker and it could work for you, but there is going to be a day where that no longer works. So you can't just be a rigid one thing. You have to assume formlessness. For example, if power demands that you be a cold motherfucker so you could live to see the next day, do it. But however, if power demands for people to not want to hate you and you have to be a little softer and more empathetic and understanding, that's also powerful.
But I think if you're thinking about only how it's going to work out for you in every interaction, that's kind of wrong.
Can I say this?
Rather than I
say
might
this?
not
Listen,
gain anything,
can I
but
say
this person might be
Brendan,
helped.
Can I say this as a rebuttal? What if you were born in like a third world country, or you were born really, really poor, and you had no choice but to think in terms of survival? What if you're like an inmate in prison since you were like a teenager, and you had no, this is why.
I still though, even when I have almost nothing, I can't help it. Like it fucks me over.
Still, no matter what,
if I have two cigarettes left, I might give those last
Brendan,
two cigarettes
because
to somebody.
you're still a white dude with both of your parents still married who still are there.
True,
for you.
no, I do think about
you're
that.
Privileged.
When I see
You're a
something,
privileged guy.
okay, I get to
you
go
call
home.
yourself a low class person, but truth is, you have a lot more privilege than you're accounting for right now. You know?
My parents got this shit together, and I get to live.
And they take care of you, yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you don't have those things and you live in this world is a cruel place when you don't have those things. It's a very awful place. So,
I've been in awful places before.
No,
I've
it's
begged
not
before.
No, awful as in the world made you feel bad.
I begged with the sun.
Yeah, the world made you feel bad for years and years and years. But for some people, the world actively wants to kill them every single day. You know, like being a Jew in the 40s. everyone wanted to kill the Jews because the Nazis were like trying to take over the world. It's like imagine being born a Jew. You don't know what that's like. It's what I'm saying. It's like everyone's situation is different, and there are probably more people in this world with worse situations than you.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but
so you got to consider that. Like, where for those people, it benefits them to know how to objectively survive and to actually know how to navigate like sociopolitics and power and parasocial relationships and shit like that. You have to, because if you don't, people like that, like if you don't have your parents, if you don't have a home to go to, then you're gonna die. You're gonna fucking die. Like for every 1% unemployment goes up in this country, 30,000 people die every year. Like that's no joke. That's like a real hard number that you can't really like argue against. I mean, sure, there's probably a lot of ways to fudge that statistic, like maybe, oh, well, whatever. But, generally speaking, yeah, more people die when less people have jobs. More people die when more people have to deal with poverty. It's just a fact, It's because it makes sense. First of all, if you're poor, you're in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you're going to make stupid decisions. And stupid decisions are fine, but we don't live in a natural world. We live in like a modern society where you pay for your actions. Especially if another person, the wrong person, deems it as like a harm against them, they'll ruin your life. Your life is over. It's the world we live in. It's not a nice place. And I know you're the type of person that wishes the world was a nice place, and I do too. I try to put as much.
I know the world's a shitty place. That's why I try to be like, okay, this guy has probably witnessed endless amounts of people not treating him like a human and walking right past him like he doesn't exist. I actually stop. I'm not just, oh, here's a couple bucks, you fucking homeless peasant. I actually like, yo, what's your name? Oh, hey, what's up? Bob what? Bob what? Oh, I hang out for a minute, and it changes somebody. It helps. It does. Like a lot of homeless people, and I see this sometimes, I get into a bad groove of, now I know that I'm going to get off the train and so-and-so is going to be there. I'm going to get to the ferry and so-and-so is going to be there. And now, yes, as friendly as I am, I'm also a cash grab to them.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, it's Brendan. Yeah, he always gives me the cigarettes.
He'll always give me a cigarette or $1. So now it's like, it's expected.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do about that.
You say fucking
because
no.
I feel so bad.
You don't know how to put your foot down.
With people like that, I don't. But at the same time, sometimes I think, I'm like, you seem like okay, like just. It's so much easier to get a job. Yeah. I'm not like judging them. Like myself, I was a drug addict.
You know what I think?
And I've had a job the whole time, and I couldn't imagine.
I think this
being
is a result.
Drug addict and having to not know if somebody's going to give me enough money to get my drugs. At least if I work, I know at the end of the week I'm gonna have enough money to get what I need to get.
I think your greatest fault here, like what's really fucking you up, is the fact that you're so human to a fault. You are such a human being that you're so detached from your animal nature. Like you are so fucking
But
human.
isn't that the way to go? Isn't that evolution in a way? At first, you got to be the black sheep, right? Somebody's got to be the first or couple, to like extend from the animalistic and be self-sacrificing.
Okay, no, I agree with that.
I'm not that self-sacrificing either. If I don't have enough of my booze or my weed or my cigarettes, I'm not going to give shit.
But
when I know I have just enough for that night, I'll give it away. And the next day, I'll bitch about it. Next day, I'll be like, oh, fuck, if I hadn't given this, and this, I would have had fucking $30 right now.
But you can't be like
in my
that.
account.
That's like the unintelligent way to go about it. You know what I'm saying?
But in the moment, I can't help but give it.
But you can help it. You just never thought to. You think you thought to, but you didn't really think to. You never really committed to that alternative. All you saw was the comfortable path. Was what's most comfortable for Brendan. What Brendan is used to is giving it when to ask, especially if I have enough. Then I'll just give it because that's what Brendan's used to. Brendan's always done that. That's just the way Brendan is.
On my birthday, on May 8th, I went to the ferry. I was waiting for my shuttle bus. I missed one, and I was waiting for the next one. I was still going to be at work a half an hour early.
Yeah.
And it was coming in like 10 minutes, and I was kind of hungry. My gabapentin makes me hungry now. I don't smoke in the day, so I don't get like weed munchies, but like the gabapentin makes me hungry enough. So I went to get a hot dog with cheese. It was like fucking $6, ridiculous, from a Nathan's stand inside of the mini mall inside of the Staten Island Ferry now.
Yeah.
And this like Spanish woman came up and she was like, "Oh, please help me. I need food for my kids." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't have any cash. My bus is coming in like now 8 minutes." And she's like, "Please help me." I'm like, "Oh, it's my fucking birthday." And I'm like, I have a card. I'll buy you whatever at the stand.
Oh, my God.
And she's like, no, too expensive. Not enough. No. I need like $10. I'm like, she might be lying, but just in case, let me. We walked, and she walked so fucking slow. She had a cane. She was like, "Oh, wait for me. I'm like, oh, fucking damn it. It's not even about the money at this point. I don't want to be late for work and get fired, because then I can't help anyone like you, because I don't have a fucking job, you know? I finally found an ATM. Within like a second, I got my bus. But like, I gave her $10. But when I was at the ATM, she switched the 10 to 15. I'm like, I'm gonna give you 10. You know, I don't have that much money. I have like $40 in my account.
Can I be honest? Like,
I don't have a lot of money, but
I just want to be honest. Like, I love you to death, dude. I like, you know that. At this point, I could probably say, like, comfortably say I took a bullet for you. Preferably if I know I'm not gonna die from it. But anyway, point being, I'm very fond of you. So don't take this the wrong way. But
I know when I'm being taken advantage of.
But one of the things,
not that I'm stupid.
No, listen. One of the things I fucking hate about being out with you in public is it could be like a hobo, it could be a rich person, it could be anybody. But if they stop and make a remark, you sit there and stand there and engage in a whole conversation, and it makes me want to like wring your neck every time that happens. Because I don't want to be rude, so I have to sit there and just wait for you to finish your fucking conversation with this fucking stranger. But inwardly, I'm seething. I'm like, Brendan, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Can we just wrap this the fuck up and leave? We got places to... And you're just sitting there like talking. It's like, oh, well, what do you mean?
I might be the one person that treated them like a fucking human being that night, you know?
No, but it's like, yeah, you could do that when you're alone. But when I'm with you, I'm just like, oh my God.
I can't help it, man.
I want to like rip my eyes out. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, he's never gonna see this person again.
I know. I can't help it. I gotta be like a little bright light in their lives.
And we're literally on our way to actually see friends who would be upset with us if we were late. And you're sitting there making us late for this fucking stranger.
We'll fucking make it.
Exactly. And it's just like, it pisses me off. And I'm like, this motherfucker. Like,
I can't. Fucking, it sucks. I'm just like a low class worker that's just like, whenever I can, helping whoever. And a lot of them might be lying in on drugs, and they're just actually taking advantage of me. I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
But just in case, you know, I can kind of tell who's taking advantage or not. Like the guy outside 7-Eleven today, I didn't give him shit.
Yeah.
He had nice clothes on.
You know what you remind me of? You ever see like Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I've seen a little bit of the anime.
Oh my God.
I've seen that bullshit live action.
It's such a good show. It's like fantastic, actually. It's amazing. You'll love it. You like a fucking.
I remember watching it because like my siblings would watch it.
No, it's really good. It's up there.
I'm
a grown ass 31-year-old dude telling you like it's a phenomenal show. Fantastic.
I'm 34 now. If anyone wants to know.
Well, all right. So you're 34.
I turned 34 on May 8th.
Okay.
And no one paid my phone bill.
Yeah. Well, I tried to hit you up.
I got a TV. Yeah. I got me weed and bought me beer.
Oh yeah.
When I went home from work, there was a TV waiting for me with every like account you can imagine, like Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, all that shit.
You know what it is? I feel like.
And then I was able to attach my. That's why you didn't hear from me for a few days, because I was able to attach my Switch to the TV now.
Yeah.
I'm playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is like one of my favorite games
You're
of all
just being
time.
a stupid fucking vegetarian.
It's like I'm reading a book that I haven't read in like a couple months.
Yeah.
That's what Assassin's Creed is to me. I can replay every Assassin's Creed every year, and it's like reading or watching a movie that I really love. It's like a comfort movie for me that I can rewatch. Is like The Big Lebowski. Just the beginning to end, it's so relaxing to me. Even though there's drama, see them tumbling down. And it just starts off like that with them looking through the milks, and it's just fucking a beautiful, fucking relaxing movie to me.
100%.
Where's the fucking money, shithead? And he's like drowning him in the fucking toilet, and he's like, put me back down. I know it's down there somewhere. It's just fucking amazing movie.
Yo, is there any new movie you're excited to see?
I would like to see The Little Mermaid. When I saw the trailer, I don't give a shit about the Black Mermaid. That's crazy to think.
You just like the music.
I wanted to make sure the crab was fucking Jamaican, actually.
Imagine if they made him like a white British
Yeah,
guy.
no.
He's like,
Oh, hello.
I'm Sebastian.
Ariel, don't go there.
On the crab.
No, he was like, no, blunt fire over here.
Hello, I'm Sebastian. I'm the crab. in the night.
Fuck, that's when I would get, that's what I have to do. Like,
Hello, I'm
that's when I
Sebastian.
have
I'm
to
the
do
crab.
the
in the
American
night.
thing and shoot up a Walmart. This is why Walmart gets off.
That would be a perfect race swap too, because like there were a lot of Jamaicans in Britain. You know, like UK and Jamaica had a lot of.
Jamaica also had a lot of black people.
Hello, I'm Sebastian. I'm the crab.
No,
in the night.
it's fucking straight up Jamaican. It's even more Jamaican than the original one.
Hello,
Like,
I'm
I
Sebastian.
wanted
What's
it to
going
be
on
so
in Atlantis?
Jamaican that you need subtitles. Like, to the feet, papa, there we go.
Wagwan.
You know, it's just like completely like.
Walk on me, brethren. My name is Ariel and Ting. Yeah, me.
Yeah, I wanted to be. He's almost that. You can still understand him.
Everything is wrong with Tim.
yeah. That. I want him to be like super fucking like Kingston Town,
Yeah.
fucking dirty poverty Jamaican. I wanna-
Did you hear about how a beer can in a British accent sounds like bacon in a Jamaican accent?
Bacon.
Beer
Give me a
can.
beer can.
Bacon. Bacon.
Bacon, man.
Bacon.
Can't do accents good.
Bacon. Bacon.
You do it better than me.
Oh yeah, I guess. Because I think about these things like election and stuff.
I remember you were over my apartment after like the breakup and the band breakup and everything. And I was there and you were listening to me. I was listening to like all these like old rarity fucking Bob Marley songs because I had a computer for the first time.
Walk one brethren and ting.
Yeah. And you're like, I understand why you're listening to this because they're like heartbreak songs. But you like they're like I'm not afraid of anything. Like you did like a perfect impersonation of the.
You're not afraid of anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So like you did like a good impersonation.
You're not afraid
of,
of
like,
anything.
This Bob Marley interview.
You're
that
not
I
afraid of
watched.
anything like this and like that.
We should be like one of those fucking dumbass white kids who make YouTube channels.
But I'm
and,
not
like,
white.
And do other
I ain't
people.
even
No.
Caucasian,
I mean
man.
like learn like accents and shit.
Me no white
I
and
mean
ting.
not accents. I learned other people's
Me a
languages.
Korean and ting.
But dude, like, would it be cool to go to like Jamaica, Queens, and like actually
Imagine being
and be able
Korean.
to speak patois?
Imagine being Korean and growing up in Jamaica. It's like he speaks like fluent Korean. He's like, 안녕하세요. And then when he speaks English, he's like, walk on me bread. No, I knew some Brazilian Koreans that were like that. Like they spoke like good Portuguese, but then they spoke like Korean. And I'm like, the Korean sounds like regular Korean, but they don't speak English. So I can only communicate with them in my shitty Korean. And like,
What's your Korean? I never heard you speak Korean.
come with me to a Korean restaurant. And we'll go.
They tried to make me learn it when I was at Taekwondo, like just numbers and letters. Like
What's
1,
wrong with that?
2, 3, but I didn't remember it really.
All right.
But I also broke my growth plate, and they didn't let me. I didn't even get to. I was about to be a yellow belt.
If you're a white boy, like between Japanese, Chinese, and Korean, I'd say Korean is the easiest to learn. Like,
I
as a
think
language.
Vietnamese would be the hardest because one syllable words. Like I tried to communicate with Miss Kim when I was working. She's like, "Cheng tong ba 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 fo ga." I'm like, I can't ever learn this. Sorry. I know pho ga. That means chicken pho.
You would learn it if you fucking had to learn it.
That
Straight
means
up.
pho chicken.
No,
Pho ga.
you would learn it if you had to learn
But
it.
every single word is a single syllable word. Dong 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 dong. Actually, no, it's not even racist because they'd be having a conversation in the back, and I'd come in and be like, as like being funny. I'm like, Chang tong bong 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 chang tong, and they start cracking up laughing. They thought it was fucking hilarious.
It's pretty hilarious.
And they made fun of me too. Like these Vietnamese people are fucking the funniest type of racist ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go to the 7-Eleven there, and it was a Chinese dude. And he's like, "Oh, you work at Via Bites?" I'm like, "Yeah, I work at Via Bites with the block." He's like, "Oh, tell James just boil." No. He's like, "Just tell James, just boil a whole thing of water and throw some fish sauce in it, and just call it a day." And I would go back to James and be like, "Hey,
He said to just boil a bunch of water for fish.
and throw fish sauce in it." He's like, "Fucking asshole!" like he was so pissed at it. Like I was like, "Oh, such a division between you." And then he'd make like General James chicken. I'm like, Dude, you're appropriating that culture. I can tell why this guy is fucking with you.
General
Okay,
Tzu.
do all you Asian cultures just fucking hate each other? Like, what's going on here, man? The Japanese place off the block hates you. The fucking Chinese guy at 7-Eleven hates you. Like, what's going on here?
I mean, you gotta admit, like Japanese, Vietnamese food is real. It's peasant food. It's basic ass shit. It just takes time, with the broth
It
and
takes a
stuff.
lot. It takes a fucking whole day.
Yeah, but if the
And
ingredients are
then
simple.
trying to carry that around to fill enough bowls to make money.
All I'm gonna say
I
is,
used to carry a stick
yeah.
in Vietnam and like have like the pho on this side and the rice on this side. Put the rice in the boiling water and the pho, and like serve it. But like, how much of that? We used to use a pressure cooker that was like.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, hot pot is a fucking scam. All right, you're paying extra to cook your own food. That's some fucking bullshit, bro.
It was just like I worked in fine dining and we had grits, and I'm like, how much are grits? And like they're like 20 something. But I'm like, it's fucking grits. Like we don't even cook it. It's in a bag. We put it in the
haven't
water.
you ever heard of grits?
Yeah, like grits and like grits with cheese.
Did you
I'm
know
like,
that
that's
the
not
number
a
one-
fucking delicacy? Fuck you. Filet mignon is only good because it's like the worst part of the fucking steak. It has no fat, and you have to. The only reason it's good is because you butter baste it. You have to use for every little piece like a fucking
but
quarter
isn't it
or a
like
half
a,
stick of
isn't
butter.
it like a chunk of all red meat with no fat? Like that's pretty epic. That's raw
When you
protein.
cook it right, it's fucking like you come in your mouth.
Take
You
it easy,
come
brother.
in your own fucking
Take
mouth.
it easy now. Like, come on, bro. Let's pump the brakes a bit on our analogies
No, it's
here.
fun. No, if you butter base it with garlic and rosemary,
On the metaphors, yeah.
throw a half a stick of butter with garlic and rosemary, let it sit for a minute, and just go over the top and let it soak in all that juice. It's like the best thing you'll ever. It's so you can chew it with your tongue.
Shit, I just remembered. Before I forget, so this is a little off topic, but I just want to say it before I forget. We got to do another Terrorisk radio thing soon.
Oh yeah.
No, because like now, just to warn you, the next time we do it, we're gonna be playing a lot less of our music because now we got more of our my
Okay,
friend.
that's good.
Yeah, I just want you to know. I want to warn you because we had it good. You know, like in the first Terrorisk radio segments, we were playing like a lot of our music, and it was just like
Just do like one of each of ours.
that's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I really want. I want enough like of our friends' music for we could just.
I've been trying to find local artists, and it's hard.
It's hard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's also
All they have to do is say yes.
well, it's also like. You know, a lot of the local artists we know stopped actively being musicians, you know?
There's a lot of people I haven't talked to.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's hard to contact everyone now. Like Dave, it's always had the same number. And I can't get in contact with him.
I hung out with Dave like recently, like fucking 3-4 weeks ago. I went to his place in Harlem, and it was like it shocked me because he told me he lived in a 2-bedroom place, and I was like, awesome.
Wait, he's in a different place now?
Yeah, he's in Harlem. He lives in Manhattan. So I go to his place, and like it's
That place in Brooklyn was fucking
no.
awesome.
He lives in a 3-bedroom. He lives in a 3-bedroom in
That
Manhattan.
place was so cool.
I know.
I wanted to fucking
I know,
live there.
I know it's cool. But listen, now he lives in a 3-bedroom in Manhattan, right? So he tells me he pays $3,000 a month for it, and I'm like, cool, awesome. So I go to his place. It's like it blew me away. I was expecting like a lot more space for 3 bedrooms, but I think like my apartment might be like just as big as his, despite his having 3 bedrooms. And he pays like $3,000. I pay $1,300, and like first of all, it's an awesome spot. Like I would love to live in a place in Manhattan that's affordable for me, but I wouldn't pay no fucking $3,000, and I don't want a roommate. So like also I will say this, like Staten Island is really the most affordable place to live in New York City, in my opinion.
I would only I can't afford shit. Like even paying $400 a month to live in my parents' house,
Yeah.
I'm still broke throughout the week. I don't know if I just suck with money or whatever.
No, you don't make enough money.
Well, right now I'm making $17 an hour.
Dude, you think annually, if you really want a good, like, decent life just for yourself, you have to make at least, like, $80,000 a year.
So what's 17 an hour?
Well, do the math. First,
Doing about 35 hours a week.
okay. So let's do we're gonna fucking calculate Brendan's salary right now. So 17 an hour, right?
Yeah.
How many hours a day?
Let's go on average because it goes up and down.
Okay.
It's normally like 36, 37, but then I have tons off.
Okay. So 30?
30. Let's do 30, yeah.
17 times 30 right? That's what you make in a week times 4 per month times 12. So you take home about this is what you take home a year.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I'll show you what I take home a year. Hold on. Wait. No. Let me type, motherfucker. This is me. That's after taxes.
That's a lot different.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad when you buy me beer.
Yeah. But like, just goes to show you, like, this is how I do, like, Sword, the podcast.
Because
the
I'm
music.
like, I have like burns and cuts for that money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you can wake up and do it at home. That's crazy to me.
But first of all, you do listen.
I get injured.
I had
for my
to,
money.
but just for the record, you didn't have to do this. This is what I had to do. I had to work for the same guy, for the same place for years.
I remember when I would meet you when I was still a bike messenger and you were working downtown Manhattan. What were you doing then? And
same job, working for the same guy. I was doing the same thing.
And you were telling me about the art of slacking off.
Yeah.
And I'm out there fucking on a fucking bicycle.
And I'm like on my way. And I'm
weaving through fucking traffic.
You should have listened to me, bro.
Passing that fucking naked cowboy cunt who's probably out there not even playing guitar, playing three chords.
You should have did what Iva did. You should have listened to me. You should have been like this month. But no, I get it. Back then, I didn't have much to show for it. All I had was the knowledge that only I knew that if I stick with the right guy, you get taken care of, especially if you take care of him with your services. It's like a symbiotic relationship, and I knew that. Most of our friends didn't know that. They didn't understand that. So I was there and I was trying to convince people to like get their shit
I thought
together.
if I was just a little bit faster, I'd make more. Bike messengering, it doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Because there's Amazon and all this other shit. I was in the last generation of this culture. It was cool. It was a cool culture. But the job itself
sucks.
If you didn't love biking, and I was okay, biking was fun, but like I'd have you and other people when you were in a messenger.
I was a messenger.
I would get you for a short time.
I got my shit together.
Not for like 7 years.
I got a shit together.
Unless you've done at least
3 years. 3 years. I did 3 years.
Unless you've done 3 winters.
I worked for Champion, and then I worked for.
You worked for Champion's fucking hard.
Yeah.
They give you the heavy shit.
They were my first company. After Champion, I worked for.
I had never worked for Champion, but I remember people telling me that worked at Champion how fucking like 25 pounds.
No, you worked for the top dogs though. You worked for fucking
Elite.
Elite. They were the top. They were
because I lived with those messengers for years.
They were the best.
And they needed me to do at least 3 or 4 years of messengers.
Like shit. They needed you to eat this shit.
They were elite. They were. There was a couple of Valkies, but whatever.
But I will say this, like that experience, like I see a lot of kids getting to fixed gear for tricks though, not for like riding and transportation, but they want to get into it as a sport. And then like it gave me the knowledge to like know how these bikes work because like I relied on this thing. Like this is my transportation, this is my job. When it's
your job, it's different. But I'd come home after my legs are fucking dying.
Yeah.
And it would be like you or Jimmy or somebody else like, yo, want to go for a bike ride on the boardwalk? And it's so nice out. And I'm like,
okay.
No, I sometimes I say okay, but like this is fucking ruining my life.
But I'm just
Nobody should ride a bike for fucking 10 hours a day.
So like how like
for 5 days a week. That's 50 hours of. That's a lot, man. I remember like having. A
I feel really bad for you, man.
And she couldn't sit on my lap because it would be like she's in my like it like it hurts so
Dude,
bad. It was so tender.
I feel bad because like I don't think you ever got a chance to fully enjoy fixed gear riding as like just to enjoy it. I feel like for you it was always tied to
necessity. Yeah, it was my job.
I got to like after like I stopped doing it as
you do tricks and shit. I don't give a fuck about tricks.
No, but like it's not just doing tricks. It's like enjoying it. Like I know how to like throw my bike in the car, go to a nice scenic dirt road, and ride track a little cross with my buds with beer.
Sometimes as a bike messenger, you have to try to enjoy it and make it feel like, oh, I'm free.
With your friends
You're
too,
not that free.
Especially if you work with the same people, and then it's like, what you guys want to get drinks after this, and then you go and do stupid shit in the streets after you're drunk.
Well,
You'd
have
it's
a
fun.
bunch that would go to the Brooklyn Bridge and smoke blunts and like
and then ride
Yeah,
and ride.
I'm glad I didn't fucking live in Brooklyn because I would not want to get fucked up and ride up that fucking bridge
every day.
Oh
every
my god,
day, 5 days a week.
Plus, at the Brooklyn Bridge, even when it was closer, I didn't ride. Those wooden lanes scared the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah.
I am a little bit afraid of heights. and
We
riding.
gotta have bike adventures again. Let me fix up your bike. Like, let me make it.
I don't know how it happened, but when I got older, I got afraid of heights.
Wow.
So going up maybe I was on drugs a lot.
Yeah, you dealt with some trauma.
I was on drugs a lot, but I worked for that guy doing the marijuana delivery when it was illegal, and I had to have a lockbox.
That sounds like your trauma source, the weed thing, because like you thought you were gonna get
But
your
I was
family
also
killed.
on heroin at the time.
Yeah, and thinking you were gonna get your family fucking killed.
Well, you don't feel a lot of things like fear of heights and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I remember going over the Brooklyn Bridge with you, and I'm like, I was like kind of
Pussed out.
Yeah, I'm like, we're so fucking high. If I fell over the edge, that water hitting the water is like hitting a brick wall. The pressure makes the water flat for a split second. It's not like you just go straight in.
Understandable.
Unless you're diving, maybe, but like hitting water at a certain height is like hitting concrete.
Makes sense.
You break like every bone in your body.
I know. That's why people kill themselves all the time, because it's like
I don't understand why people would kill themselves by jumping over a bridge.
Well, yeah,
if you knew how bad that you would hit it, it would be it would break so many bones, and you just sink, suffocating in terrible pain with like 6 bones that were like broken. It would be fucking horrible. Your arms would be like.
How would you do it if you had to like kill yourself?
I'm a diabetic, so I could just inject insulin right now.
Yeah.
And die.
You know what I would do?
I would die like within the hour.
What I would do?
It wouldn't be painful.
I would put on my favorite hoodie, right? Go to a mirror, look straight in the mirror, and just blow my brains out, like looking at myself in the eye.
Yeah, if I had a gun, that's what I'd do.
Like look straight in the mirror and just like, let's do this, buddy. And it's
this is so fucking dark.
What?
But no,
I think it's cool. I'm in my favorite hoodie. Like I'm good. I'm in the bathroom, got a gun. Look in the mirror. It's like, all right, no one could call me a pussy. And like I'm looking myself in the eye.
Oh, you didn't do the fucking.
Seppuku?
Yes,
that's just unnecessary pain. That's like not even killing yourself. That's making yourself
honorable.
Suffer. Is that honorable?
It is. Come on.
You know what that is? That's like if you're an emperor, right?
You shoot yourself, you're taking the easy way out.
That's if you're an emperor and you want to feel I have so much power. I'm a god. I can make men disembowel themselves in front of me, and I'll get a boner and I'll come to it later tonight. Just knowing I made a samurai cut out his own fucking innards, gut himself in front of me. Like, yeah, I got a nice like little power boner from that. That's why they did that. I think that was all performative. It was all like these dudes that just wanted to be like, yeah, I'm gonna really show them who's boss. I'm the daddy. I will make you slit your stomach open and make you fucking disembowel yourself.
But I think jumping off a building, like really high, would be more fun.
Why?
Because you don't do that any other time, but when you're trying to kill yourself.
The problem is,
nobody gets that experience of free falling from a fucking building or a mountain without thinking I'm gonna die. It's like an experience that the last experience you can have. You die instantly if it was high enough.
The only thing I don't like about it,
watch people like it was annoying because I'm like a bike messenger going through. I'm like up Madison Avenue or something uptown, and there's a shit ton of fire trucks and police trucks, and there's a guy up there like shaky, like ready to jump off.
Yeah.
And like I swear to God, those people were like, "Dude, just fucking jump off, bro." like just fucking we fucking we missed. Like it's like been like fucking half an hour. And like you have every police truck here like talking to you on the megaphone, like do it or fucking get the fuck off.
Like shit or get off the pot.
Yeah. Do something. Like this is like this whole fucking thing. Like stop fucking acting, bro. We're trying to go fucking. I have deliveries to make. I fucking had lunch. Like it's like fucking fuck you. Nobody gives a shit. Why are you holding up traffic right now?
The only thing
the only way uptown.
The only thing I don't like about jumping off the building, like you have time. You have time to regret your decision. And they say like every time you always regret it. Like in that moment, like that between you jumping off,
it's hard.
You always regret it.
You're determined, but I believe once you get there, the instinct.
Like this is a bad idea. Like
the instinct to not die is pretty strong. So I think jumping from a high height, a building, is actually the hardest way to go because it takes too much hesitation. Like you have to climb.
Yeah.
You have
Thinking
time
about
to
it.
think.
Yeah.
That while you're going and you're there, and now there's people around, and you're getting attention,
Yeah.
and you think
There's pressure,
somewhere,
yeah.
like people care, but I'm gonna do it. No, but you're thinking about it now. You're like on the fucking fence. Like, I think the coolest way to go would be to do that, but to get there and do it, it would probably be the hardest to execute. Because the instinct to not die is so fucking strong. If you commit suicide, it has to be so fucking bad.
Yeah, like the people who jumped off.
Imagine
the people
how
who
bad
remember-
your life has to be to
remember
kill yourself.
Remember when 9/11 happened and the planes like crashed into the towers and people were like jumping off the
Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing? You're laughing too, man.
Okay, where's this going?
All right. I'm just saying those people who jumped off and killed themselves, they didn't want to die. But they jumped off thinking
Obviously.
this is better than burning to death. I'm just gonna split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that means like imagine.
Was that cool?
Imagine, but think about that. Like they were facing physical pain, right?
Yeah.
Imagine somebody who's just facing emotional and mental pain
Yeah.
that kills himself.
Yeah.
How bad does that emotional and mental pain have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be to where it's so fucking horrible that you need to jump off a building
All right,
because it hurts
I
so
can
bad
challenge you.
mentally and
Let's say
physically.
you were a guy, right? You were happily married.
And you had a 2-inch dick.
No,
right?
you were happily married. Everything was fine, right? You had children, right?
Look at Gigi Allen.
No,
Look at
everything
his
was good.
dick.
Everything
That's why he
good.
was like that.
Everything was good. But you had a dark secret that no one else knew about. And that was you just had just the tiniest bit of child pornography saved on a very hidden drive somewhere. But one day you got caught. It got exposed. And you knew eventually this was going to leak to the internet. Your wife was going to find out. Your kids were going to find out. Everyone, your friends, your family, your coworkers, everyone was going to know that you had that little bit of child porn stashed away. And you're going to be branded a pedophile forever. So before that happens, you have a chance to just end it all and not see that all unfold. Like, you want to consider it,
Yeah, you would.
Exactly. Or I could think of another scenario. Let's say you're a guy who did something really, really bad. And you didn't get caught. What?
But he was semi-suicidal.
Look, I'm call me fucked up, but I could think of like scenarios where a person would really be driven, like any normal person can be driven to suicide given the right scenarios. And you're right, a guy who indulges in child pornography is probably not normal to begin with. But I will argue that there are cases where, like, for example, a guy might not even be into that, but he could have gotten framed or set up, especially with the internet and all the like deep fake technology. Like you could get set up in a way where it's
I think the best way to set somebody up to make everybody on your side would be like Michael Jackson.
No, you know what? All right, for example, this
maybe
is what
Michael Jackson didn't do anything, right?
This is what the CIA does.
It's the easiest way.
Wait, stop. Before you do that, this is what the CIA does. Let's say you're a famous, rich, powerful person that the CIA targets, right? And you're in a vulnerable place. You're at a club. So this is what they'll do. The CIA, if you're in Thailand or something, they will get like a child prostitute who looks 18, 20. Like maybe she's 17, but you thought she was 23. And they would get her to hit on you as a rich and powerful when you're fucked up and drunk, have sex with her, take pictures. And this works better when you're married, like they take pictures, they would get incriminating evidence of it. And it's like, see this girl? Remember her from last night? And you're like, yeah, so what? She was 15, asshole. We got you dead to rights. You're going to do exactly what we fucking say. And this is how the CIA gets like rich and powerful people under their control.
But I would imagine if you frame somebody as a pedophile, that's the easiest way to discredit them.
What do you mean?
So like somebody like Michael Jackson, he probably knew more than we think he knew. He and Michael Jackson, if he said anything, every fucking country would hear it. He was so powerful.
So you're saying MJ was innocent?
Yes.
You don't think he was a pedophile?
He was a little bit weird.
Yeah. But you don't think he was
He
like
had
a predator?
No, I don't think he fucked any kids. No.
That's fair enough. I would never know. I can't argue for really, or I don't know
And
enough
if it's
about
Michael
it.
Jackson, okay, you're sending your kid there, your poor family. You can be like, okay, listen, just say that he touched you there, and you can get anything you want from Toys R Us. Fuck it, like, any day.
We'll get you the fucking
Yes.
Sega Genesis.
And you're fucking that rich. You're like, fuck it here,
It's hilarious. It's true though.
That is. Like, that makes sense to me. That, of course, you would tell your kid to tell the fucking judge that.
But Michael Jackson was also pretty messed up. But you're right. I don't think he was a predator.
I don't think he fucked any of these kids. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think he was close to them because he felt like a kid.
He felt like
but he wasn't. I don't think he did it sexually. He was just childish. He was a weird fucking adult.
You're like Michael Jackson. You're Michael Jackson.
I'm not Michael. I am. I'm a weird adult.
You got good musical sense and you got some regression going on. So yeah, you're like a Michael Jackson.
I wish I can go alone to the park, the playground, and go on the swing sometimes. But I'm not as an adult. I'm not really supposed to be in there without a kid. So.
Oh my God, there's a strange man.
I know, but I used to do that in my 20s.
Yeah, we all did. We were with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, no, bro.
Actually,
You're 34. I hate that.
Our teenagers were pretty fucked up.
Why can't you just have lie detector tests everywhere?
Because
like,
teenagers go to public spaces
I
where
don't want to fuck these kids.
Listen. Teenagers go to these public spaces, right? Where little kids are supposed to be hanging. Like those spaces are not for teenagers. Yet
they don't do that anymore. Yeah. We did that. We went out and got drunk in public places.
And butt fucked each other in public parks and shit.
Yeah, these kids just there's no kids anymore. They're just at home playing on like shit.
Yeah.
They don't need to go out.
Yeah. That's
They're
not
like
good
the
though.
last generation who like made bonfires at the beach and shit.
Maybe. No, I
had
think
to hit 3 buttons.
Listen, I think kids these days still do shit. They still do some shit like outdoors and stuff. Like they still know how to live. You know, you're gonna be that old guy. You're gonna be that old guy that's like, nah, kids these days ain't okay.
No, yeah, I feel that old now.
I don't think so.
Me and JoJo when he came here from Florida, we were like, we're gonna pretend like we're like fucking 15 again, and just go to the pillbox in Middlefield.
Right.
And we walked through the woods and we went through the mud. It rained the day before.
Yo, when's he coming back?
I texted him recently and asked him.
Yeah. Next time he comes back, he has to get on the show. He has to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Yo, the episode between me, you, and DK. I don't know if you saw it, but it was so good. It was like I actually watched the whole thing. I haven't done that in a long time, but I was rewatching that episode. I was like, this is fucking great. It was a good one. Like just me, you, and Justin. I think the 3-man episodes are special. You know, like the 2-man ones, I do that a lot with different people, and it's like,
how hard is it to do another?
What do you mean?
Like,
oh, he lives in Pennsylvania now.
Oh, damn.
That was his last few days in Staten Island. So it's like, hopefully he comes back soon. I'm trying to help him out. You know, we're coming back. We'll get him back. But I want JoJo on. I do. I really
me
do.
too.
That would be so clutch.
I tried last time, but he's always here for like a distinct reason, you know?
What if we just paid his trip here? I paid his trip just to get on the show.
Dude, planes aren't expensive. If you ride like bitch, like I've gotten here to Texas for like $80 before.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive. The expensive part is missing work. But if you work from home,
You hate plane rides, right? I love plane rides.
it's a
Because listen,
half and half.
when I go to an airport, when I go to an airport, I have a credit card, like I have a business account, so I could really just spend money on stupid shit. So first thing
I did that last time.
First thing I do when I
went to the bar, ate some
food. Get each cocktail's like $20, but you're like, fuck it, give me 3. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
You get drunk, and then
then you get on the plane, and you're like,
I also had a 10-pack of fucking airplane bottles that went through fucking security, and if it's closed, you're just allowed to have
You know what
it.
I did? I
They're like, you want your free soda? Sure.
What
I
I
just
did?
poured like some shots into it.
I had a weed vape pen, and they actually let me through. Like they didn't consider it.
Dude, I
So
vaped the whole time.
I was
I'm
getting
not
so
going
stoned on
3
the
hours
fucking
without nicotine.
on the plane. So I was like in the.
I hope nobody who works in these planes hear this. This is how we break the fucking rules.
Well, I got it through. Like I at first I thought like maybe they'll find it and I'll be like I'll throw it away right now. You know, I bought it at a store, but they let me through with it. And I was like cool. So I was just in the airplane bathroom like And I was like taking strategic small hits that could disperse quickly, but I took a lot of this. And I was like, and I got super stoned that way, like really high, and it was good. And I was just chilling the whole plane ride. And at the airport,
Where were you going?
Canada.
How long was it?
The flights?
Yeah.
They're long flights to Canada, especially like mid Canada. Like you got to go not just towards the middle of the continent, but up. Well, anyway, that's about the time we have. It was definitely good chilling. This was a good episode. I feel like I got better at being a co-host, and I'll tell you my trick. I'll tell you a strategy that you should use too. But anyway, good night, everybody.